Hello, it's the MGTOW. Welcome to my channel. I talk about love and relationships from a man's perspective, and it's what I call a forensic analysis of love and relationships from a man's perspective. As far as possible, I'm going to include information and data to back up the things that I say. And please hold me to account here. Okay, I need you to hold me to account as I learn more about masculinity and manhood. The more I realize that love is about self love. Yeah, it's not about it's not about orbiting around women, around other people, or any of that shit. One of the things that annoys me about channels like Alexander Grace, as much as I like some of the things that he does, right, and what he shows in these persistent interviews with women, the thing I don't like is the feeling that he and so many men revolve around women and hang on their every word, and life seems to be about decoding women. Do you know what I mean? And there's so much energy spent, on talking to women and chatting women up, and tricks to get them into your bed, and saying that how to make her smile, how to get her fucking phone number, left and right. And it's like, enough already, enough. I mean, it's such a pain, it's such a hassle. And in the end, why? I'm much more interested now, and wish I'd known before that the real game is just to develop yourself to be the very best version of who you can be. I know that sounds trite, doesn't it? Yeah. But I want to dedicate my time into developing my skills, my body, my mind, my relationship with the creator. That's what I'm going to do. And everyone else can do whatever they're doing. So, in any case, I just want to talk about a few simple things today. Right? I want to talk about my day. I hope your day's been fine, right? But I want to talk about my day. I want to talk about the things that happened to me today, right? So I've been involved recently in this climate justice thing, this climate change thing. And in particular, I've been involved in, don't laugh, Extinction Rebellion, right? So I understand, like how easy it is to be a skeptic of these climate change, militants. I know that. And, my sister said, what are you doing going anywhere near them? And my sister has a lot of common sense, right? So I should have listened, right? But my thing is always to check things out in person. Check them out in person. No matter what you read, no matter what you hear, if you have a chance to see something, or somebody, you should go and check them out in person as far as is humanly possible. So I've been going for the last few weeks, right? And anyway, I'll talk about it another time. But there were a couple of interesting things that happened today, right? So I was chatting with another guy, right? And there was this woman, right, from the group. She approached and she said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And I tried to explain what we were talking about. She didn't understand, and I just said, man tings, yeah. And boy, did she get umbrage, mate. She got the fucking hump. It was hilarious. She said, "Oh, it's not okay." What's not okay? What's not okay? I just said man tings. You won't understand man tings, and it was funny. It was funny, but boy, was she pissed off. And off she walked. She walked, man. And, I was happy. I was happy because, I'm it's okay. Number one, it's okay. It's okay. Nobody got hurt. It's not an insult to say man things. You know what I mean? Man things. You know what I mean? Yeah. So she walked off. Yeah, and I carried on. About my business. The stereotype about the left. They are not wholly true, but they are somewhat true. There's a bit of a effect vibe going on there. You know what I mean? There's a bit of a, I wouldn't say it's a girly exactly, but we kind of like soft men types there. We're listening men, and there's nothing wrong with listening, but we well, the stereotype is that the left are beta, new soft cuddly men. I mean, the weird thing is actually, it's like working class men on the left, yeah, are fucking miners and factory workers, hard men. Do you know what I mean? Like, but in the kind of like new wave millennial circles, right? That shit is just not happening at all. It's not happening, right? So I got to talk to another kid who was like in there, and he asked me what I was doing, and I said I've started this YouTube channel. Yeah, he said, what about? And I said masculinity, right? Which there was a little intake of breath. It was like it was practically the same as when we were gathered in a circle talking about stuff and whatever, right? And I think it was about favorite foods, yeah. And it went round, and when it got to my turn, they said, what's your favorite food? I said, meat. Meat is my favorite food. And there was like, again, another kind of like, an ooh moment. Because it's like, oh, we're vegans here. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm a man and men eat meat. You know what I mean? Many fucking meat. I eat meat. Yeah, I like to fuck. I've got a big dick. I eat meat. That's it. Simple as that. Right? But anyway, this kid I was talking to, right? I said, I talk about masculinity. I want to learn about my masculinity, and this is a good way for me to learn about my masculinity, right? This channel. And he says, masculinity. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with masculinity. And I was like, wow. I was surprised to hear that. Because there's all this... I was surprised to hear that. Are men really so poisonous? Are men really so poisonous that you want nothing to do with masculinity? How would you feel about a woman that said, I want nothing to do with femininity? How would you feel about that? Would you think that's right, or you think that some things the matter, or what? Are you a man who wants nothing to do with masculinity because you're gay? Is it that gay men can't be masculine? Gay men are very masculine. At least some of them. They're like the original hyper masculine people. With leather jackets and fucking handlebar moustaches and shit. All of that shit. Right? Is something really so toxic about masculinity that you want nothing to do with masculinity? It's just a surprise to me. It's a surprise to me. But when I kind of explained that I want to why I want to talk about masculinity, that I want to talk about manhood in an unedited fashion, and that there's a space for men to talk about themselves in such a fashion without compromise to each other, he kind of softened a bit to that. I could hear him soften to that, because I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not ashamed to be who I am, you know. Despite all of the messages, I'm not ashamed to be a man. I'm not. You know, hence the title of the video, Men Are Good. Men are good. I've not always had good men in my life. I've not. My dad was bad. You know, my dad, is my primary, supposed to be my primary influence. You have to forgive me for slurring my words. I'm tired. It's past midnight and I'm tired. And when I'm tired, I lose my words. My words. My dad was my dad was a terrible man. He was, yeah, but he was also a lesson in what not to be. What I know is that, my dad was a violent man. My dad was a bad person. So in a way, yeah, he was my primary role model, but he was my primary role model in the sense that I'm not going to be him. I'll never be him. Yeah? I don't look at his picture often, but when I do look at his picture and I see him looking back, I say it to him, I'm better than you. I'm a better man than you were. And it's true. I'm better than him. So I won. I've already won. I'm a better man than he was. But my goal in all of this is to be the best man that I can be. I want to be the best person that I can be. And I want to be the best man that I can be. When I think about what the brother at Extinction Rebellion said about wanting nothing to do with masculinity, I think about male spaces, man. Right? I had to tell him. Do you think it's like when men get together, when we all get together, we all like, we want to be like fucking Stallone and shit with like knives and just like grunting, ugh, and like stabbing people and shit. It's not like that. When I'm with men, men are funny. Men are giving. Men are kind. We're kind to each other, man. Man, is it just me? Is this some kind of weird anomaly? Is it the men I'm around are special? I'm not saying men are universally good. Yeah, but men are a force for good. Men are a force for good. They are. I'm a force for good. I'm learning to be there. I'm learning all the time. But when we gather, we talk about things. We talk about funny things. It's hilarious in there when we gather. We talk about stupid stuff. And we talk about deep stuff too. We talk about deep stuff. And I feel able to be myself. I feel strong men in there. I feel soft men in there, emotional men in there. Men able to cry, men able to hug each other, men able to talk about difficult things, personal things. Men able to support each other. Men able to talk man talk. And I love that. I love that. Actually, I was just thinking about this earlier. When I was I'm actually older than I look. I'm aware, of how young I look relative to my age. I'm 48, so I'm damn near 50. Not a line on my face. Black don't crack, baby. Black don't crack. When I was a kid, the Kennedys were my heroes. Alongside men like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. But, John F. Kennedy, when he was assassinated, 25 years before, I came in my boyhood, right? But I'm not saying it was a current event, because it wasn't a current event. Obviously, there's a difference between 1963 and 1983, right? But it was still in the air, the kind of like, oops, are you still recording? Yeah, it was still in the air. You could still catch the tail end of it. It was still something people remembered. Right now, it's like a historical event, but then it wasn't a historical event. It was a real event, and there was still a sense of mourning and loss that John F. Kennedy had been assassinated. My cousin, rest in peace. My cousin's called Kennedy. You know, people named their children after him. Um, and the thing I loved was the relationship between um, John Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy. Right? There's these pictures of them. I mean, you grow up and you learn that your heroes aren't as good as you thought they were. That's okay. That's life, right? I certainly learned that the Kennedys, were they a force for good in the end? Were they a force for good? I don't know. You learn all kinds of shit about them. Things which, decisions that were made which change how you view them, but you learn to accept that people are flawed. But the thing I love is the relationship they had with each other, and the the sense of brotherhood and manliness they shared together, the intimacy of that brotherhood, that bond between them, was special and self-evidently special. And I loved seeing photographs of them together. I really, really, really did. I never had a bond like that with any of my brothers, and it saddens me to this day. Um, you know, but it is what it is, and I'll take what I can get. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that, some thoughts on brotherhood and barbershops, because men are good. All right, man. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Peace.